What's good, everybody? This is Fern, aka Fina Oraya, author of Before 7:30 Practical Ways to Empower Yourself and Save Your Relationship Before Giving Up. I can't believe it's already March, and for those of you who celebrate the new year at the beginning of spring or the vernal equinox, I hope you're ready for the new year in a couple of weeks. So, like everybody else, I've been paying attention to everything that's been going on around us. And I've decided to go back to peel the onion, so to speak, and focus on the first layer, which is ourselves, self care, self love, instead of solely talking about our relationship with other people. And I have noticed that many people's anxiety is high due to all of the uncertainties, the effects of COVID-19. And well, people are just tired. For example, parents were exhausted before, but now we have work and homeschooling. So you can just imagine. Everything takes more planning now because of this new normal. And I've read too many articles of people just checking out, meaning that homicide and murder suicide rates are high. Needless to say that many of us just aren't ready for these challenges. So that makes addressing our overall health even more paramount than ever before. And in order for us to take care of our health, especially our mental health, we have to take care of ourselves physically, emotionally, and spiritually. So, what are some of the ways that we can take care of ourselves? I'm not a health guru, but I can tell you now that everything doesn't work for everybody. What works for you might not work for the next person. But I do know that in order for us to do anything that can help our being, we need to slow down a bit and assess, since we're still trying to figure out how to get back to some type of normalcy. We can take advantage of these fast moving and no time for bullshit by looking in the mirror. Okay, right now people don't have patience for the bull. People don't have the time, to be waiting on you. People don't have the time to hear the It's okay. You have something to say it. You have something to do it. You have something to prove it. Just do what you have to do. Now, what do you see when you look in the mirror? Is it a healthy and happy person staring back at you, or is it a dull looking and uninspired person glaring back at you? If it's the latter, it's time to enjoy a little personal time and take a vacation, which is when you pamper yourself. Okay, so that means putting yourself first. And why is that important? Why is that important? Well, it's simple. You don't want to burn out and lose yourself for too long. This is why you have to look into caring for yourself again, whatever that might mean for you. Whether it's reading a few good motivational books, watching a movie you love, listening to some great high frequency music, taking spiritual baths, getting a full body massage, cleaning up your place, painting, writing, drawing, meditating, and forgiving yourself daily for some of your unwise choices, singing, dancing. I can go on and on. And I highly recommend you go out in nature and reconnect, because we're walking around other people with a mask on, which is not how Mother Earth intended for us to live. So you need to reconnect with the soil, reconnect with the fresh air, reconnect with the sun, reconnect with the moon, reconnect with your inner voice, your inner sense of being. Pretty much reconnect with yourself. Self-care is going to be different for everybody because you have to do something that stimulates you, something that you enjoy. Now, if we're talking about mental health and taking great care of ourselves, then this is also an ideal time to acknowledge who you are, what you represent, and even start on your spiritual journey. Self-care is self-love. And self-care, self-love are an integral part of the spiritual journey. In my world, they're synonymous and symbiotic. Some of you might think that your spiritual journey should be where your life takes a complete 180 turn, but sometimes, for many of us, it starts as a small pivot. And to me, a spiritual journey is where you look at your life and you listen to your inner voice and apply what you learn about yourself in your daily life, and understand how to be and relate to the world. Remember that your journey won't always mirror someone else's. That's why it's called your journey. So, why again is this a great time? Well, with so many people who are grieving, so many people dying, many of you have questions. Why is it that some people recover but others transition even when they don't have prior medical conditions or they're healthy? You want answers about this life and what's happening, especially right now. Some of you never thought of how it feels to lose your mother, your father, your spouse or partner, your child, your best friend, and what seems like a long nightmare from a horror movie. So many conspiracies, so many questions, so little answers. This is why your spiritual journey and your self-care should be a lifestyle. And I say lifestyle because you really want to tune in to you and make it a habit to check in with yourself and clear your energy, eliminate unnecessary drama, and bring in lighter things that are easier on the mind and soul. That's why I recommend some of what I mentioned before, because the energy needs to be light in order for you to consistently feel energized. So, what are some of the other things that you can do as you start to care for yourself more and embark on your spiritual journey? For many people, it's as simple as listening to what they hear from their mind, thinking about their beliefs, and leaving some of the non-serving beliefs behind. Opening the way to learn new things, gaining more knowledge and newer insights to help them feel more in tune with this life. This life is not an easy one, but it can be easier. But it all depends on us individually and collectively. What we do, what we say, who we are around, how we conduct ourselves, what we believe in, they all affect us. All of those things are self-care. Then it's a no-brainer that we should start taking better care of our bodies, our mind, and our health in order for us to be ready to receive more rewards. Your journey in self-care will require you to either jettison some people if they're not willing to live a life that's in alignment with how you want to live, or think of how to work on the relationships that aren't serving you right. You can't feel light if you're dealing with toxic people, because we all know that unhealthy relationships are tense and actually have a heavy weight that we can feel. We're all about self-improvement here, higher vibration, but we also keep it real, meaning that we know that we don't have to entertain the lower and petty stuff. At the end of the day, we're just choosing to be more selective of whom we keep around and what we do. So don't let your energy run so low that you have nothing left. With all that's going on, it's time that you take yourself to the ocean. Wash off all of the invisible gunk off your body, mind, and spirit, and truly be about self-care and self-love. Turn the light back on to yourself. If self-care means that you have to put everything else and everyone else on hold, then do that. Do that, because if there is no you, then nothing is. If you don't exist, nothing else exists. Now, I don't want to make this too long. I just wanted to ease back into reconnecting with you all and reminding you that at a time like this, when everything seems so surreal and crazy, we don't know what is going to be the next thing. So I just wanted to remind you not to forget about you. Don't forget yourself. Now, an update. I am working on my second book. More details to come on that later on. If this is your first time on my channel, please subscribe, check out my other videos, like and share this one so that we can grow our tribe. I appreciate every one of you. Don't forget to check out my website, before730.com. That's BEFORE 730.com for all of my products. Everything will be in the description. One love, everybody. Until the next video, happy living.